Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and we are going back to the forest because that's what our girls are. Sakura forest goes free. Let's see if Aiyana still is incapable of smiling, or maybe is by now, and maybe she, somehow managed to get the bit of hang of the magic. Time passes as it is prone to doing, and before I know it, a full week has passed. That's right, since the last episode it's been a week. Even though it's been yesterday, but time flows different in some visual novels. Throughout the week, Aiyana has been training every day with Maia. Aiyana gets embarrassed when other people watch her, so I've tried to avoid snooping, but from what I gather, I think she's made some progress. She's not tied herself and Maia up in rope since their very first training session, which can only be an improvement. Once Maia finishes today's training regimen with Aiyana, the five of us sit down in Mika's tent to eat. Our food consumed, Maia then addressed us, her eyes narrowed.
I apologize if I sound too serious. I do not wish to ruin our digestion, but there are important matters that need to be discussed. Oh!
Mika whistles. That was a whistle? Really?
It's unusual for you to talk like that. I'm starting to get shivers. You haven't been possessed by a malevolent entity, have you? Hardly.
Maia snorts.
You forget I am a powerful witch. Of the five of us seated here, I'm the most malevolent. I could scare away any silly spirits with a mere glance. Man, what is the matter? Why do you look so serious? If I look serious, it is because the matter I wish to discuss is a wavy one. I think it is past time for us to confront that wench Imala.
The mention of that wench's name makes me shudder. I can't help but cast my mind back to the darkened prison cell and that wench's smug, mocking expression. What would have happened if Maia hadn't been in possession of that enchanted trinket Mika gave us? Would we still be locked away in that dungeon? At that wench's mercy? Also, yes, we are calling her a wench. There is no other way. There is no other way. It's a chilling thought. I don't much want to see that wench again, but
if we do not try to stop her, and soon, she will only continue with her deranged plans. She will attack even more villages and she will cause untold destruction. We are the only ones who know of her wicked plan, as such we are the only ones who can stop her. We cannot let her get away with this. I agree with you, of course, but what does all this entail? Obviously we'll have to travel to that village of Arie, then we must try to seek the audience with her. We'll be seeing Arie again, huh?
I should have known it would come to this, but Maia's announcement took me by surprise regardless. I wonder how I will feel seeing Arie again. Happy, I think. It will be pretty awkward. Oh, it will be pretty awkward. I'm afraid it will be pretty awkward after she confessed to me beneath the stars. Yeah, about that. I have no idea what I will say to her. I might be even more anxious about this prospect than I'm at the thought of once more meeting that wench Imala.
If we can talk to Arie, we may be able to persuade her to imprison that wench. If that wench intercepts us, however, then we'll have to fight her.
Exactly.
That is the worst case scenario, however. I do not want it to come to that, and there is no inherent reason why it would. If we are clever, we may be able to avoid any violence. That will be to our benefit. That wench is Arie's chief priestess. She has a very important position in the village. If you attack her in a broad daylight, we definitely cause a scene. The village guards would all flock to Imala, that wench's side, as a matter of course. If we're not careful, we might have to contend with the whole village.
Bring it on. Okay.
I don't want to go against the whole village. The princess's guards have done nothing wrong. I would hate to hurt them.
Whoa, just how far did that training go?
I agree. I might be a sadist, but I take no pleasure in harming cute girls without their consent.
Technically, we don't know if they are cute. I mean, I don't know if they are cute. Maia claims they are, but they might not actually be.
Bloodshed is a big no-no. So, we're going to try and avoid violence.
Wait, is Mika going to?
I'd prefer it if we can.
There will be a fight, let's face it. That wench will do something.
If we do come to blows, however, I think we'll emerge victorious. My powers are stronger than of any village's guards, and we have Aiyana on our side. Her magic has come a long way, thanks to my training. A few measly spears should pose her little harm. If we work together, I have no doubt we can take on the whole village. That wench, Imala herself, is the biggest threat, given she can summon slimes.
So technically it's the slimes that are danger, not her. But you know.
But if she were to do that, it would turn her own people against her. It is not a power she can show off willy-nilly. We should be able to prevail in a fight. For that would of course make it hard for the princess to trust us. It is a thorny issue, but I think discretion will be our biggest ally. We'll arrive at the princess village covertly and seek Arie out without drawing attention to ourselves. We'll tell her of that wench's Imala's treachery, and with some luck, she should listen to us. She seems to trust you, Yaya, so she should believe you, no matter how wild your accusations. I sure hope so. Me too.
Koko sighs.
Arie's such a trusting girl. I doubt she's ever considered that wench Imala might not be who she says she is. She has known that wench since she was young, and she has a good deal of faith in her. Will Yaya's words alone shake her beliefs? I don't know, but we'll have to try. We cannot continue to sit by idly, doing nothing. Let us set our plan into motion tomorrow. We'll travel to Arie's village once the dawn rises and try to speak with her. We will try to settle things peaceably, without any fighting. But if we cannot, we must prepare ourselves for the worst.
I bet we'll have to fight.
What do you say, everyone? Is that acceptable? It will hurt Arie's feelings when the truth comes out, but yeah.
Koko stands after a small pause.
If that wench is as weak as you say she is, she has to be stopped, no matter the cost. Alright, let's bring the tyrant down! I'll never forgive her for throwing me in that prison cell. That's the same voice, but whatever. She needs to be taught a lesson. I don't know if I will be of much use in our excursion, but I'll do my best. Good. I'm glad I can count on you. You are all wonderful allies.
Mika should say.
Oh, you think I'm wonderful?
Wow, that was such a chance.
It is settled then. We shall leave tomorrow.
In before we are getting attacked before that, right?
I cannot say what will happen, but I, for one, will not rest until we have punished that wench accordingly. Then, and only then, will I be able to relax.
The day drags on, and when the sun sets, Mika and Koko retreat to bed, which does not technically exist, but we know they sleep on the ground. They change to their undergarments, so sleepy wear, then slide beneath the pattern sheets that fill Mika's homey tent, as you can see, totally underneath the pattern sheets. The pair of them are lying together now, as they have every night, with Mika's arms wound protectively about Koko. Their eyes are closed, and they are both smiling in their sleep. Mika's regular exhalations disturb Koko's blonde hair, while soft snores fall from Koko's lips. They look perfectly, blissfully happy. I can't help but feel envious when I look at them. I wish I could fall asleep that easily. Oh, I wish I could fall asleep easily, yeah. For surprisingly enough, lately I don't have a problems of falling asleep. I don't know, maybe it's the summer. But I do have problems of waking up a lot. That is a huge issue. I've been tossing and turning for a while, but no matter how I try, I can't arrange my lips into a comfortable position. Yeah. I keep thinking about the conversation we had earlier. Come tomorrow. The 5 of us will journey to Arie's village. Then, we'll confront that wench Imala. I wonder what will happen then. When will we settle things without drawing our weapons? It should be probably. Or will we have to fight? If we do fight, will we be able to best her, or... My head starts to pound and my stomach feels like it's been tied up in knots. I will never be able to get any sleep like this. It's impossible. Maybe I should go for a walk. With some luck, that might help to clear my head. I sit up, the covers falling from my body. My bare shoulders are exposed to the cool air and I shiver. I adjust my ponytail, which has begun to fall apart after my tossing and turning. Then I make to stand up, but something stops me. I can feel eyes boring at me in the dark. Their gaze is so intense my skin prickles. I glance to the left, my newly tied hair brushing against my cheeks. It's a bit hard to see in the dark, but not so hard. I can pick out the contour of familiar face. Aiyana must have been able to sleep just like me, because she's also sitting up in a bed. Her blue eyes look dark and mysterious, and her white hair falls messily around her shoulders.
Aiyana.
I scramble over to her, careful not to make too much noise. I don't want to wake Mika or Koko.
Are you alright? I could be better, I suppose. But then again, I could always be better. Are you having trouble sleeping?
Aiyana nods.
I was thinking about tomorrow.
About going to Arie's village.
Aiyana nods again and grin, and I grin.
You're not the only one.
Are you anxious too?
Well, yeah. The last time we were at Arie's village, we were kidnapped by that insane priestess, and then...
I mean to give a brief rundown on the torments we're subject to the wench's hands, but I pause. Everything can be found in Sakura Forest Girls 2 playlist. There's no real point getting into it now, yeah? Not with Aiyana. She was there with me when it happened, and she knows exactly what occurred inside that creepy stone dungeon. Exactly, she knows. We know, I know. If you don't know, check the playlist eventually. Maybe after finishing this episode, something like that.
Well, that was in the past. I'm sure we'll be fine. We just need to keep our wits about us.
Do you really think so? I'm trying to be positive, but positivity does not come easily to me. I wish I was not. But I cannot deny the simple truth. I am scared.
Of that wench?
Aiyana nods again.
You might not realize it given your inability to perceive mana.
Yeah. I'm hopelessly mundane. I know.
But that wench is really powerful. I believe we have only witnessed but a small sliver of her powers. I don't know what she's capable of, and that's the really scary part. What if she imprisons again? We won't be able to escape this time, not without the necklace. We'll be trapped.
That would be bad, yeah. But you're forgetting something.
What?
You know what I'm surprised about? I mean, maybe I'm not really surprised, but why, for example, they won't try to bound like Yaya's spear with some magic as well? It would help her destroy the slimes, that's for sure, right? Should be easier that way. Because the other... Otherwise she's going brute force only. Anyway.
That wench might be all powerful,
Meh.
but she's only one woman. None of the villagers know what she's really up to, and neither does Arie.
In before a crazy turn of events and they all know. That would be nasty.
They might support her initially because they respect her for some reason, but when she shows her true colors, they all desert her. She has no real allies. We, on the other hand, are acting as a team. There is me and you, and there is Maia and Mika and Koko too. We outnumber her.
Well, we outnumbered her last time, but she still bested us.
Maybe so, but it's different this time.
How so?
I'm going to work doubly hard to look after you. You've been training really hard with Maia.
Ooh, that seems like a very important choice. Which one should we go with?
I think the second one, right? Why wouldn't we go with that? Save first of all, save. Yeah, you've been training really hard with Maia.
You've gone through all this training with Maia, of course. She said you'd made a lot of progress. All that hard work can't have been for nothing.
I hope you're right. It is true that I have become stronger, but my powers are still very much eclipsed by Imala's.
Nah, that wench.
I could feel the mana rolling off her when we bested those slimes together. Her palms pulsated with its stuff. It felt like her whole body was glowing. It was so overwhelming to be in the presence of somebody so powerful I almost fainted. It was that wench's strength, more than unleashing of my own abilities, that truly unnerved me. I'm a hopeless coward.
Aiyana's expression twists. It looks like she's in pain.
I don't want to see that wench again. When I think of her, I find it impossible to sleep. She really does scare me. But I know I cannot avoid a confrontation. She has done many awful things, and she deserves to be punished for them. Like being thrown into the dungeon full of slimes. Nobody can bring her to justice to save us. Nobody can bring her to justice to save us. What? Whatever. It's a frightening prospect, but...
Aiyana's fingers find mine in the dark. She links our hands together and then gives my palm a gentle squeeze.
I've come too far to back down now. I cannot forgive that woman for the destruction she wrought upon our village. I still feel fearful when I think of confronting her, but I shall do my best to overcome it. I think I can press on if I have you by my side. Thank you, Yaya, for always being there for me.
It's no problem. Alone we might be weak, but together we are strong. We have friendship on our side, of course, and that's something that miserable washed up old harpy doesn't have.
Ooh, that's a nice wording.
I'll support you, and I know you will support me. We make a great team.
I think so too. I don't want to let anybody down, particularly not you, so...
Aiyana inhales, then she squares her shoulders.
Whew. I'll do my very best, regardless of how afraid I am. I can't let my own anxieties stop me.
You know what's the trick when you're afraid, scared, or something like that? You need to... The trick is to turn this into excitement. It's not easy, but it works. I mean, of course, it also depends on the situation. Like fighting someone, I guess it could be exciting, right? If you are thinking, yes, I want to test my abilities with someone who's beaten the crap out of me in the past. But now, I think it might be different. This is exciting, you know, waku waku and stuff. But I'm not sure. But again, this might be a life or death situation over here, so maybe it's not that great. And to word it badly, I speak out of my ass here. But still. Let's continue.
Aiyana!
I blink at Aiyana, momentarily overwhelmed. She looks the same as always, but I can sense a certain sort of purposefulness radiating from her. She's changed a lot during our journey. She's not the meek-timid girl she once was.
She still is, but you know.
But she changed, yeah. She's doing her best to forge ahead despite her reticence, a trait I find remarkable. I think Aiyana is stronger than even she knows. She probably is plenty strong, yes. I wake early the following morning with the chirping of the birds. I hate those guys. Sunlight filters in through the fabric of Mika's tent, which promises a bright and sunny day. It seems like a fairly auspicious start to our journey. I hope everything goes well. I desperately want that wench to be punished for her crimes, but at the same time I feel anxious about facing her again. I know what she's capable of, and how powerful she is. She can use her own magic in combat, and she can summon slimes. Will we really have a chance? Yes. I'm not sure, but I do know we don't have a choice. We have to do our best. I rise and dress then, for these forcefully optimistic thoughts swirling about in my head. There's no room for self-doubt to fear. That will only get in the way.
Alright.
Maia addresses us at large once we've all woken.
Are you ready to face that wench?
As ready as I'll ever be, I suppose. It's alright, Aiyana. You can do it. I believe in you. Same here.
Good, then let us teach that weak priestess a lesson. She'll rule the day she dared make a fool out of the great witch Maia.
What about her careless destruction of small villages? Is that not more important?
Yes, that's too. She has a lot to answer for, really. I endured a lot because of that woman. She humiliated me in front of all of Arie's guards, and then she went on to imprison me. Can you credit it? She should count herself lucky her slimes did not damage my beautiful face, else she'll be in real trouble. I have half a mind to spunk her when I lay my hands on her. That should teach her some manners.
My arms folded across her chest.
The youth of today are out of control. They have no respect for the leaders and betters.
Yeah?
I thought that wench was pretty old herself,
I don't know how old she is exactly, but from what I've gathered, she's been buried since she was a small child. Arie's in her early 20s, like me, so that must put Imala in her late 30s. Or even her 40s! Does that mean Maia is even older than that? She doesn't look it. But she does like to harp on about how wise and experienced she is. I wonder.
Are you older than my granny, Maia?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would actually. That's why I'm asking. You're not like 200, are you?
Maybe, maybe not. That is one of my little secrets.
You have too many secrets. We're supposed to be allies, but I feel like I hardly know you.
Come now, Yaya, don't be like that. You might not know all the nitty-gritty details, but you know everything that matters. You're aware of, for example, that I love cute girls.
Well, duh! You only talk about that every walking second.
And you are aware that I'm very strong. That is all you need to know.
Really?
I raised an eyebrow.
For a so-called powerful witch, you are incredibly simple.
Quiet. I don't like getting bogged down in unnecessary details. Life is too short.
I guess that holds true for ordinary humans, but you have no right to say that when you've been alive for centuries.
No. I'm not immortal. My mana can only sustain me for so long. Even my life has an expiry date, but that will, with some luck, be years from hence. Now, enough chatting. That wench waits, and my hand is itching to be acquainted with her rear. It is quite the cute rear she has, despite her awful personality.
Yeah, I mean, again, she might be like a 9 of a person, right? From the looks. But her personality drops her to be like 2.
It's a shame so nice a figure was wasted on a woman like her.
Alright. night, everyone. We'll be departing soon, but before that, we need to make sure we have all our provisions. Did you remember to bring some dried foods with you, Koko, for the journey ahead? What about a spare pair of shoes or a spare pair of underwear, lest they get wet? Well, why would my underwear get wet? You never know. You slip and fall into a river or...
Mika smiles coyly.
I might get a little bit carried away, cuddled up with you beneath the stars, you know. I can't help but cling to you, Koko, particularly when it's cold, and I'll be counting on you to keep me warm.
Mika, please. We're about to embark upon an important quest. This is not a pleasure trip. You can fondle Koko as much as you want in your own house, but there's a time and a place.
Boo!
Mika pouts.
You're so harsh, Maia.
And you are a hopeless pervert.
So are you. It takes one to know one.
At least I conduct myself with poise and grace.
You keep telling yourself that, Maia. Nobody else will.
Please, everybody, let's not fight. We'll never be able to defeat Imala if we are at the one another's throats like wild animals.
Maia opens her mouth, perhaps to retort, but pauses. She frowns. She's right. Then she smiles and ruffles the top of Aiyana's head.
Yes, indeed. You are right. I'm sorry for causing a scene, Aiyana. We must work together if we are to succeed in our venture. Now, are you all ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
I'll be sure to cheer you all on.
Alright, a boost to the morale because of cheering.
Then let us be on our way. And please, Mika, do try to take this seriously. This may be the toughest challenge any of us have yet to face.
Or something like that. Once Mika is satisfied we have enough provisions, we set off to Arie's village. I wonder if the slimes will try to intercept us on the way or what's gonna happen. Arie's village is considerate distance from Mika's, and it takes us 4 full days to get there. So we are not having any events on the way there. Nothing at all.
Really? How come? Why are we not getting any scenes on the way there? What is the meaning of this? I don't know why I'm saying stuff like...
Whoa, no, wait. Why do I have 2 of those? Oh, that's the old guy. Alright. And that's the new guy, which I have not used in the end at all. Okay. 4 days. 4 days. I wonder how much of a distance it is, really. Like, in kilometers, please. During the trek, Koko and I, of course, hunt for the food while Aiyana prepares it. We eat rabbit and squirrel, alongside some hard crackers Mika brought with us, and we sleep beneath the stars. Oh, I must have pressed... Oh, whatever. We bath where we can, in the rivers and streams, but we don't linger for very long. We're all grimly aware of what we need to do. We need to confront that wench, and we have to tell Arie what has been going on. If we are incapable of fulfilling this task, an untold number of villagers will meet the same fate mine did. Left unchecked, that wench will continue to summon slimes. She will ruin lives, and I doubt she'll feel any guilt. Thinking about her makes me grind my teeth together. I'm not a vengeful person, but I believe that Imala that wench should be punished for her crimes. That's the only way she'll ever be able to change. I mean, are we not eliminating her? Then peace might finally come once more to our land. Eventually, on the 4th night, my party and I arrive at our destination. The wooden walls of the Arie's village can be seen from atop our vantage point, on a nearby hill, fringed with trees. It's late at night, and the sky is full of stars. The moon, meanwhile, hangs heavy above us like a pearl. It's a warm night, with only the barest hint of breeze, but I shiver regardless. We've come all this way, but now begin to doubt myself.
What do you think we should do? Should we camp out here for the night and go there come tomorrow morning?
You know what? We might actually Yes, maybe that's what we should do. We know that Arie is going out of the village for some walks alone, right? It's a win situation here.
That mightn't be such a bad idea. I'm tired too. We need to be well rested before going to the village. It seems likely we'll have to confront that wench, and I'd rather not do that half asleep. You both raise good points, but I have an objection.
Yeah, I mean, she can also, on the other hand, see the future or whatever, right? So, she should know we are coming. She should be prepared. Or you know what if she haven't looked? We should prepare traps over here.
That wench is stinkier than a weasel. If she were to learn our location, I had no doubts that she would set her slimes on us in our sleep. We would be sitting ducks out here, completely vulnerable to any surprise attack she might see fit to launch. As such, we ought to head to the village now. If we can get an audience very quickly, we might be able to handle the matters without ever laying eyes upon the troublesome priestess. I agree. I want to get this over and done with as soon as we can. That's how I conduct all my business deals. We can't afford to deter. But it's so late. It would be rude to demand to see Her Highness at such an hour.
Aiyana, right now, being rude or not doesn't matter, to be honest. Let's face it, that's the reality.
It's breach of protocol, yeah, but sometimes you've got to throw caution to the wind. We didn't come here for a pleasant chit-chat. We have serious business to discuss.
I suppose you're right. But I do fear we would make a poor impression upon the village guards.
The five of us deter for a few minutes, unsure of what to do. We're so engrossed in our debate we fail to hear the sound of footsteps that approach us, cresting over the hill. We do, however, hear the sound of a troll being cleared at the cool, calm address that follows it.
Well, look at what we have here. It's been quite a while, has it not? I would call this a pleasant surprise. Had I not known when waking up this morning that you guys would be paying me a visit? You kind of pulled the wool over my eyes, you know.
My body stiffens and the fine hairs on the back of my neck begin to stand up. I recognize that voice. It stirs uncomfortable memories within me. The last I heard it, it was gloating over me while I was bound with ropes. That's not an experience I'll forget in a hurry, for I wish I could. The voice belongs to, of course, that wench, Imala. You know what? No, she's not a 9 even from the looks. She's like a 6. Yeah. And a 1 given the personality. Or maybe 0 even. The pink-haired priestess steps out of the shadows, her grey eyes narrow, the thin smile plays about her lips as she surveys Aiyana, Maia, Koko, Mika, and I. There are 5 of us and only 1 of her, but I still feel uneasy. Imala looks completely at her ease. Did she know we would be coming here? We haven't approached Arie's village just yet, and we haven't made any loud noises. What tipped her off? No. She said...
Come on! Why do you look so surprised?
Imala titters.
Surely you have not forgotten that I was born with the gift of clairvoyance.
And yet the gift did not tell you we would run away.
I can see into the future with as little effort as it takes you. Ho ho ho! Yaya, tie up all your lovely hair. I knew you would be coming here soon, and I made haste to greet you. As the princess's chief priestess, welcoming guests is one of my duties. It would be most rude of me to leave you waiting.
Imala drops us a neat curtsy. We don't care.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Maia. Aiyana, Yaya, Koko. Oh, it's been a long time indeed. Her Highness has missed you a good deal. It was awfully rude of you to leave her with nary a word of warning.
Fuck you! That's all I have to say to her. Imala straightens up, then shoots Koko a narrow-eyed glare.
But never mind that, you are here again, and that is all that matters. Now that you have returned to the fold, I shall do all my part to ensure you do not run away. Her Highness will be so pleased to learn that her best friend has returned.
We are not friends.
I cannot wait to tell her the good news. This is a most happy occasion. Now, would you care to follow me?
No. Imala beckons to Koko.
This will be much easier on both of us if you agree to behave yourself. I do not want to resort to violence.
Koko takes a step back, her eyes heavy with mistrust.
Mika was right to warn me against you. I do not like that attitude of yours. Why, it almost sounds as though you are threatening us.
I do not want to threaten you. I'm not rude, and I guess...
Yes, you are.
As I have said, the people are fighting.
Wow, that's bullshit if I heard one.
I would much rather settle things peaceably. Peaceably. Oh, yeah?
I'm getting so riled up, I can't help but stomp at Imala despite my fear. The memory of being tied up in her dungeon is still fresh in my mind, but I push it to one side. I don't want to cover before this woman. I need to stand up to her.
If you're such a big fan of peace, why don't take Maia and Aiyana as prisoners, huh? You sure weren't acting very peaceful then, bitch. You threatened us with those icy, icky slimes of yours. And you were the one who sent those slimes to my village in the first place, bitch. You might act like a goody-goody, but that's just a front. In reality, you're anything but. You are a monster! A monster, am I? Yes, you are! If you think we'll just hand Koko over to you, you're deluded. Your clairvoyance might not let you define people's feelings or their intentions, but your common sense should tell you this much. We didn't come here to kiss and make up. I don't want to forgive you. We came here to tell Arie about your treachery, so you can be punished.
Yes, indeed. You've been a naughty girl and you deserve to be taken to task. Now, submit to us, bitch.
Here we go again. Let's hope Arie is on one of her strolls. Would be nice. Would be nice to see that. Would be nice to see that. Maia holds both her hands aloft. Magical energy begins to gather and then pulsate in her palms. So we are starting the fight, I guess.
Before we ruin that pretty face of yours, which is kinda average. Should we do it, you know? My super strong could watch your back if I were you. My, you are also stubborn.
Imala toots, then shakes her head.
I thought I could feel...
Wait, did I say previously that she's getting the slimes out? Why did I say that? It's so ridiculous.
I thought I could talk things.
Fuck, what was the voice? I forgot now. Great. No.
I thought I could talk things out with you like adults.
That's bullshit what you're saying again.
But I'm capable of understanding my feelings.
We don't care about your feelings, that's the thing.
How then could you even understand my motives? I'm acting only on the Highness's sake. I am not the villain of this piece.
Yes, you are.
No, you're not! Don't make me laugh, bitch! You're the truly selfish one. You've sent your slimes after dozens, maybe hundreds of villages. How many lives have you disrupted in your quest to make Arie smile? If you knew Arie at all, then you'd be the first to realize that she never wanted this. She'd be devastated if she learned the truth. Then that is all the more reason to keep it from her. If you loved her, you'll be honest with her. You can't base a relationship on lies and subterfuge.
Yaya has a point here for once.
You are not attacking?
Your relationship with Arie will crumble given enough time, with or without our help. Once realizes how duplicitous you are. We only came here to speed things along to their natural conclusion.
So even the degree to which Maia means to chastise me, does she?
Imala pose.
What a shame it is that you're all determined to stand against me. Damn straight we are! What you've done, though, can't be pardoned, no matter how many fancy words you use. We'll never forgive you. Then I suppose it is pointless to debate you further. You mean to tell Her Highness my doings? But I cannot let you do that. I'll not allow you to disrupt the Highness's peace and happiness. I love her from the bottom of my heart and soul.
That wench clicks her fingers, and when she does, the wind seems to turn cold. My hair dances about my cheeks, whipped into a frenzy by the breeze. I wince and take a step back, fingers curled about the shaft of my spear. When the breeze finally settles down, I see that the ground is peppered with shiny green creatures, all gelatinous again. Slimes. These are the monsters which attacked my village 3 years ago, and they are the same monsters which attacked the prince's village only a few weeks prior. Back then I thought them akin to force of nature, but now I know the truth. They didn't appear from nothingness. They were summoned by that wench Imala. These slimes are too stupid to think for themselves, so they answer to each and every one of Imala's, that wench's commands. Alone they are weak, but together they can put up quite the fight, and their numbers right now are overwhelming. There are so many of them I can't possibly count them. There must be over 100 of them at least.
Oh gee, are we really supposed to take all this on?
We must, unless you want to find yourself back in the dungeon.
Of course I don't want that.
Then we need to stand tall. Imala, that wench will not surrender without the fight. Let us dispatch of all her lackeys.
I don't know if I'll be of much use, but I'll do my best. Same here. And I'll cheer you on from the sidelines. Seriously?
Koko glowers at her girlfriend.
Aren't you going to lend a hand? No, can do, I'm afraid. You know I'm not a fighter. I'm not skilled with any weapons, and I can't use magic. You can rest assured for, and I won't run away. Not even if the going gets tough. I'd never abandon you, my little Koko bean. I'll support you until the last moments.
A bard, basically a bard. Let's go.
Well, thanks very much.
Koko sighs.
I'd rather your support was a bit more tangible, but I appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. Now.
Ooh. Koko draws her bow from her back and knocks an arrow. She points at the one of the slimes. Her eyes narrow, fluffy pigtails fluttering the breeze.
Let us show the priestess what we are made of. We'll not succumb, no matter how many slimes she throws at us. We can afford to fall. Nicely put, but you'd make a good orator, Koko. It's a little wonder Her Highness fell for you. You really do have a way with words.
This voice fits her, right?
Oh, yes, that is her voice. The old hag that I am, the wench of the wenches, Imala.
Anyway.
But that will not help you now, not against my slimes. I'll overwhelm you with numbers, and then I will drag you girls back to my dungeon. There, I'll re-educate you until you forget all you have witnessed tonight. I'll turn you into perfect pliant dolls, so Her Highness want to play with you for the rest of her days. It's a perfect plan, don't you agree? That way Her Highness will never be lonely again. You're sick. Sick with love, maybe, but it's just so very wicked.
Yes.
I don't deserve to kill you, so can rest easy on that score. I only mean to knock you about until you can no longer stand. This is what you deserve for coming back to this village and for trying to bother Her Highness. Now, cover in fear before my army of slimes! You're the only one who'll be covering when the night is up, you monster! Take this!
And to be fair, can't you just aim at Imala? Do a headshot and we are ready to go. Koko shoots an arrow in the height of a nearby slime. And with that, pandemonium breaks loose. Would be a good idea to put that arrow into fire, for example. Not saying, I mean, slimes would probably get damaged by fire arrow a lot. Anyway, the slimes which were once placid now begin to move. They creep towards us, extending their green see-through tendrils. They seem to move as one, united by their shared desire to attack. There are so many of them, it's hard to keep them at bay.
Stay back, vile monsters!
Koko shoots arrow after arrow at the advancing monsters. They disintegrate when arrows pierce them, but more appear to take the place of their fallen comrades. One slime creeps up to Koko. She won't be able to stop it in time. I see a nightmare vision of Koko doubled over, enveloped in slime. I can't let it happen, not my dear friend! Fantasizing about it is one thing, but having such a scene play out in reality is too hoary to contemplate.
Don't you dare!
Let's go! I grasp my spear in my hand, then thrust it through the body of the advancing slime. It writhes in agony as my spear pierces it, then dissolves into nothingness.
Okay, where's the loot?
Yeah.
Koko whips about to face me, her eyes full of gratitude.
Thank you.
That's alright, you're my friends, of course I'd help you. You can save the things for later when we've taken care of all the slimes. It looks like we've got our work cut out for us.
You're not wrong there.
Koko's eyes the advancing tide of slimes anxiously, her brow furrowed.
Just keep coming.
Of course slimes fade. My reserves of mana are boundless. I can make as many slimes as I desire. It is as simple as clicking my fingers. It was so fully optimistic of you believing that you could best me. That were very, very foolish. I must admire your courage. But it will all go to waste. You cannot defeat me.
Silence, peasant! I have had enough of your gloating. Do not act like you have won. The night is still young. We can keep going. Behold! Maia unleashes a wave of magical amber energy upon the slimes. Her attack covers a far larger radius than Koko's arrows and the point of my spear, and is able to fell numerous slimes.
Even I must admit that is impressive, but it is not good enough.
Imala summons more slimes to replace her felled foes, with nothing more than a sweep of her hand. Their bodies... You know, the thing is, you know, what she's summoning is like, you know... level 1 characters, right? Sure, there are numbers, but... Anyway, their bodies glisten beneath the moonlight, a veritable sea of sickly green. Not like I'm underestimating slimes, but still. I swear, there are even more slimes now than there were when we started our skirmish. Can Imala really keep this up indefinitely? If her mana is fathomless as she claims, we might not stand a chance. Even Maia looks like she's beginning to flag. A slime creeps up behind Maia and then another. I hastily dispatch of them.
Yeah!
But more slime... Why did you show Koko if I did that? Anyway, but more slimes spring up from the ground to take their place. One slime is able to get close enough to wind a slime tenderly around my ankle. It's so cold, it saps all the warmth from my skin in a matter of moments.
Oh no, you don't!
Koko fires an arrow into the slime and it disintegrates. You messed up the CGs over here. Oi! The slime might be gone, but the unpleasant sensation that permeates my skin remains. It feels like I've stuck my foot in a pail full of cold water. My body's tingling, I feel unsteady on my feet, but I can't let that stop me. I need to press on.
Thanks, Koko! Nice save!
That's a good CG, by the way. You know what? I don't know if it will be in the CGs, so I will do that quickly. At least I will not have to edit it myself into the thumbnail.
Anytime! No, stay back! Don't! Come closer!
Aiyana, meanwhile, has been backed against a tree. She's on her knees, her blue eyes wide with fright. She tries to fend off slimes with her own magic, but in her panic state, she can only summon sparks. She can drive them away. I need to help her.
Aiyana!
I dash to Aiyana's side, my legs wobbling, and spear slime after slime after slime. The slimes make dumb, squelching sounds when I pierce them. Drops of green ooze fly through the air, scattered from the squishy hides. It's almost pretty, in a strange way, but I don't have the time to stand around admiring them.
Are you alright, Aiyana?
I think I'm fine. I help Aiyana to her feet. She staggers but doesn't fall, not with my support. Once she's somewhat recovered from her ordeal, she looks down anxiously at herself. Her white hair is rumpled, her knees are dirty, but she's otherwise unharmed. That's a big relief. Whew. But I'm worried about Aiyana. She's not been practicing magic for very long, and I'm afraid she's not strong enough to protect herself. I'm so busy trying to dispatch these slimes, I can't keep an eye on her all the times. There is a good chance she'll get hurt if I left her to her own devices. What should I do? Ooh. Tell her to fall back, or... If we tell her to fall back, it will feel like we are saying, Aiyana, you are not fit for that in the end. We don't believe in you. Something like that. I feel like this would be basically that. I think we'll say that... the second option. Let's go. I believe in that girl. She can pull this off. Come on, Aiyana.
Lend me your strength, Aiyana! Let's try and drive these slimes away together!
Right. Aiyana notes, her blue eyes narrowed.
I know I've not been much used to it, but thank you for believing in me. I'm sure I'll be able to help out. So don't let us keep believing in me. I won't let my training be for nothing. You don't need to tell me that. I already know.
I offer Aiyana what I hope is a comforting smile, then pat her on the shoulder.
You're only hard worker. There is nobody more dutiful than you. Give it your best shot. I'll be here to back you up.
Right, I'll do my best.
Let's go! Aiyana shores up her stamina, then holds her palm aloft. Blue light collects about her weave, which then pierces through the hides of the oncoming slimes. When the light fades, the slimes have vanished, as though they were never there.
Oh my!
Aiyana blinks, perhaps surprised at her own prowess.
I did it. I really did it. That you did. You're doing a great job, Aiyana. Keep it up.
Right, I'll keep on going.
Let's go. Aiyana dashes in the fray, her eyes narrowed with determination. She uses her magic to disintegrate the slimes in her path, while I skewer them with my spear.
How's this?
Yeah!
Maia and Koko too are doing all they can to stop the spread of the slimes. Maia skewers them with her own values of magical energy while Koko fires arrows after arrow, and I start to also wonder how in the world do the villagers not hear a thing?
Don't dare come any closer, you disgusting monsters.
I won't let you harm my friends.
Okay, this is what I was actually waiting for. Let's go. Another round. Things were looking pretty dicey, but we're beginning to make progress. The slimes are thinning out and Imala is being driven back. We fight our way down the side of the sloping hill, cleaving slimes apart as we go. We're getting close now to the village gates. We have that wench backed into a corner. Imala grits her teeth, that wench. She looks frustrated.
You know, girls, simply don't come out and quit. I was prepared to go easy, but now I see I have no choice but to crush you completely. Let's see how you friendly face many enemies.
What?
Oh my.
Imala clicks her fingers again, that wench, and when she does, a brand new wave of slimes emerge from the ground. The slimes are even more numerous now than they were at the beginning of our skirmish. There are so many of them, all clustered together that I can't count them. Their bodies seem to merge together into one vast pale green mass. There must be at least 500, 700, maybe 1000. I've never seen anything like it. It's so full of sight, it's almost awe-inspiring. My mouth hands open, and my fingers slacken about the shaft of my spear. The slimes are like a tidal wave. No, a force of nature. They're going to bear down upon us and wash us away. I don't think even Maia can handle all of this. And then...
So, what do you think?
Imala jeers at us from behind her undulating wall of slimes, her lips curved in a smug smile. Come on, Arie, where are you when you are needed? How do you not hear all of the fighting?
Just try and fight your way out of this if you can. I can't wait to hear your cries of anguish. Won't you scream for me, Maia? Beg for forgiveness, rub your forehead against the ground like the lovely worm you are. Then I might forgive you for defying me. You're crazy now.
Maia spits at Imala, but this insult does not have the intended effect. Imala doesn't look offended in the slightest, in fact it's quite the contrary. Smirking, Imala, that wench, throws her arms akimbo and says,
Maybe I am, what of it? I love her highness so much I would do anything for her no matter how unhinged. I know you mean to insult me, small-minded creature that you are, but I consider your words a great compliment. That I would go this far for her highness' sake shows how devoted I am to her. This is the proof that I love her.
I doubt that very much.
would be nice if we were like,
Don't you think, Arie? Don't you think that what she says is bullshit?
you know, I know she might not be there, but we might distract her this way as well, right? Hey, she used the dirty tricks previously, we could do that as well.
If you loved Arie half as much as you claim, why are you letting your slimes descend upon her village?
What?
Imala, that wench, does frown now, her brow creased with obvious anger.
What do you mean?
I mean what I said. Your slimes are beginning to revolt. You must have summoned too many of them. Let's go! You used up a lot of mana summoning these monsters. Now we haven't the stamina to control them. Some of them are beginning to creep towards the village. They mean to attack indiscriminately. They will tear down the village walls and the tents that lay within. They will attack villages and rat them as they try to attack us. And then They will even try to attack your beloved princess if left unchecked. In trying to protect her, you will instead harm her.
What? No, that can't be. My slimes obey me. They would not exist without me. I created them.
Imala, that wench cries, her voice growing increasingly frenzied. But even she can see, in her agitated state, that Maia is right. Hell yeah! She doesn't know the limit of her control. Wonderful. The majority of the slimes in Imala that wench summoned are staring us down, ready to strike, but a sizable chunk of their contingent has broken away from the rest. They are creeping towards Arie's village en masse, with no thoughts among them save destruction. There are so many slimes they should be able to tear the village walls down with ease. The village guards don't have any hope of driving them away. There are hundreds of them.
So much for protecting the princess. You've done nothing but put her in danger. Some priestess you are.
What? No! I never want this to happen! Come back, my slime army, and attack the real enemy!
Imala, that wench shouts about her slimes, but to little avail. They continue to creep towards the village. More are beginning to join them, perhaps drowned by the warmth of human flesh, sleeping soundly within their tents. These newly summoned slimes aren't paying us any attention. They'll all drawn to the village.
Stop that! Stop it at once, I say!
Imala stamps her soul on the ground, but the slimes refuse to listen. They really are out of control.
Oh dear!
Imala bites her lower lip.
This could be bad.
Can't you, like, resummon them?
Are you finally realizing the error of your ways?
How did she not see that in her clairvoyance? Maia rolls her eyes.
Well, I suppose it's better late than never. Let's try to stop them!
Right!
We need to protect the villagers! I don't want anybody to get hurt.
I can't do much of help, but this is awfully exciting! Waku waku!
The six of us dash towards the village, on the tail of the scattered slimes. The slimes are now beginning to launch themselves at the village walls. There are so many of them, it shouldn't take long before they topple the walls.
What's going on?
The village guards have by this point been alerted to the chaos. They try to stem the destructive flow of the slimes to little avail.
Where did that almost...
And that's the same Imala's voice, right? Where did the monsters come from?
There's so many of them, I can't hold them back!
This no could be bad, I don't see anything like it. Why did Imala not warn them about this? She always tells us when the slimes are going to attack.
Maybe she was unable to predict. There are really a lot of them. Where is Imala? Somebody said for her. I'm here!
That's wrong. Fuck, I forgot again the voice. God, it's so weird. Like you forget to voice how to do it in 5 seconds.
Don't do it! Don't do it! I'm here, so don't panic, I'll try to stop them. Oh my! Imala's warrior, thank goodness! Can you help us? We can stop these monsters on our own!
Someone needs to let the princess do this. If she were to get hurt, that would be a disaster.
I'll go, but I have my hands full trying to stop the slimes. I can't hold them back. They're overpowering me. Oh, I can't. Yeah! Yeah! The princess! Somebody needs to protect the princess!
Oh boy. They are going naughty there. The village guards cry out, their voices shrill with terror, as the slimes overwhelm them. The slimes wash over the guards and launch themselves at the walls. The sound of splintering wood fills the air. Holes begin to open up in the village walls, which the slimes pour through like water. With all the guards bested, there is nothing to stop them from flooding the village. At this rate, they're going to destroy everything.
Stop that! Please stop that!
Imala plays to the slimes, but too little obey, and they won't listen to her. They can only obey their own destructive tendencies.
It's even worse than I thought.
Maia clicks her tongue.
I doubt Imala will be of much use. She's used so much of her mana, she can't stop them. We'll have to do something about this.
Right!
I'll stay here and look after the guards. You go on ahead, alright? Yeah, you do that. I'll leave their welfare in your hands.
Maia smiles thinly.
It seems you're not completely useless after all.
Alright, I like Mika, but you know what's the problem of mine? She's kinda a healer here, right? And I find healer who can't fight useless. I like Mika. Her character is cool. She's not like the healer that is, you know, presented in anime normally. They are kinda pathetic, to be honest. Anyway, Maia enters the village through a large gaping hole. The slimes punch the wooden walls. I slip inside behind her, with Aiyana and Koko following. I straighten up my spear grip tight in my right hand and look around the village. The slimes haven't been in the village all that long, but they already caused a good deal of chaos. Tents are collapsed on the ground, their support reduced to matchsticks, while villagers are running about in panic. The fields are being uprooted, and the livestock have escaped their pens. The cows are lowing in fear, and the chickens are anxiously clucking. It really is a horrible sight. I can't help but worry. About Arie. About the villagers. I worry about...
I think I will say villagers, to be honest.
Yeah, we are not going Arie route, so... About the villagers, yes. What will they do now that their home is being destroyed? This deliberate, violent destruction is heartbreaking. Arie must share my concerns because I see her dashing from her tent. The sounds of her slime's attack must have woken her. Took her a while. She dashed about, wild-eyed, her upborn hair a tangled mess about her pretty face.
What in the world is going on? Where did all these monsters come from?
This is bad, it's very, very bad. But I can't stand her gulping.
Take this, you rotten slimes! I'll try to hurt these innocent villagers! Me neither. Take this! And this.
I try to feed as many slimes as I can, but not even my best efforts are enough. There are so many of them, it doesn't matter how many I tear asunder. I stab them wildly, sparing slime after slime, but more come to take the places of their fallen comrades. I'm already exhausted after our previous fight and my fingers fumble around my spear. My legs are aching and it's hard to get enough air into my lungs. I'm flagging, and I'm not the only one. Maia and Koko look exhausted too. Can we really take these slimes on? I'm starting to fear that it's not possible. There are too many of them all.
Oh no, this is bad.
Aiyana looks even more exhausted than I feel, which is quite the feat. Her chest heaves with exertion and her legs are shaking. She's been doing her best to fight alongside us, but I think she's reached her limit. I'm terrified she's going to collapse. What will happen to her then? I'm not strong enough to protect her.
Aiyana, please fall back. It's not safe here. You need to flee this village while you still can. No, I won't. I can't abandon you, or Maia, or Koko. It wouldn't be alright. You always protect me when I was young, Yaya. I was incapable of fighting my own battles. When the villagers teased me, I dissolved the tears. I was, and always have been, a weak person. It is a wonder you were able to put up with me. But still you did. You have always been there for me, Koko, too.
And I glance past me at Koko, who's still shooting arrow after arrow into the attacking slimes to little avail. Her arrows strike true, but for every slime she fells, two new ones sprout out. Up. The village is overrun with them. People are fleeing from the ruins of collapsed tents, their eyes wide, confused shouts and screams fill the air. Only a few feet away, I see an old woman fall. She cries out in naked terror as a slime descends upon her.
Not so fast!
Pow! Koko pierces the slime with a carefully aimed arrow, but the woman still can't stand. She must have twisted her ankle. Soon another slime descends upon her, then another. This is carnage. Crazy for she is, I doubt this was that wench Imala wanted. What will we do now?
You and Koko have always looked after me. You're trying to protect me even now, for we are all in danger. It is much appreciated. But you ought to think about yourselves more. You and Koko are the ones who are truly hurt. You have endured so much of for my behalf.
Aiyana narrows her eyes.
And that is why I must go serious. What? You didn't get serious previously? What? I have had enough of being a damsel. It is high time I put forth my own effort to bring an end to this ceaseless suffering.
Aiyana holds the palm of her hand aloft. Light begins to gather about her. The light is bluish, and it gathers about her hand like fireflies. Aiyana's hairs flutter in the breeze. Even I can sense my lack of magical acumen aside, that something incredible is happening. Thick, dense mana is building up inside Aiyana's body. She's never looked more intense, nor more beautiful.
I'm not dressed in any special clothes, but feeling of ritual, and my heart is pounding fit to burst. I barely know the basics of magic despite Maia's lessons. I'm terrified I shall make a mistake.
And she's like, explosion! Destroys the whole village. Anyway, Aiyana grills her teeth together.
But I will not let this village be destroyed. I'll do all I can to protect these good people. And to protect you too. Please, let me take care of things. You can all rely on me.
The light which swirls about Aiyana grows brighter and brighter. I think I lost my eyesight right now. Soon the whole world is swallowed by a light so bright I'm forced to close my eyes. I take a step back, bowled over by the power of Aiyana's enchantment. I can feel the fine hair standing up on my arms and the back of my neck. My legs tremble, but I'm able to remain upright. Eventually, after what seems a small eternity, the harsh light fades. I open my eyes, panicked, and whip my head about. Arie's village is in a frightful state, but tents dilapidated and the fields in disarray. But as for the slimes themselves...
No way!
They're all being scattered, defeated. This must be because of Aiyana's magic. She really was able to banish them. Not even Maia was capable of such a feat, despite being a centuries-old witch. Aiyana really is incredible. But no, I don't have the time to stand about gawping at Aiyana's heroic feats, impressive though they are. How is Aiyana? Is she right? Using magic like that must have taken a toll on her body, which has always been on the delicate side. I'm terrified as I sweep my eyes about the village. I'll find Aiyana slumped on the ground, unconscious or worse.
I might have overdone it a bit there. I'll need to learn my own limits.
Oh. Okay. But to my immense relief, Aiyana is still alert. She's even standing, albeit precariously. Her legs are trembling, her face is flushed with exertion, and her skin is slick with sticky slime residue. I feel a bit sticky myself, come to think of it. Maybe the slimes didn't vanish, maybe Aiyana's magic instead made them spontaneously explode. If so, that's kind of scary. I had no idea Aiyana was so strong, but this is hardly an unwelcome surprise. If it weren't for her, we'd all be screwed. She saved the day. Now I want to save her before she tops the ground. I ain't ready for her cute face to be messed up.
Aiyana! Oh, Aiyana!
I descend upon Aiyana, my arms wide. I'm so relieved to see she's alright. Unsensible thought has fled from me. I can think of nothing other than holding her close and squeezing her tight. The warmth of her body against mine should let me know, if nothing else, that this is no dream. We're alright, all of us, and I don't think I ever felt happier.
Hi, Yaya, what are you?
Aiyana begins, but she's unable to finish the question.
Oh.
I cut her off, winding her my arms about her in a tight, steadying embrace.
You did it, Aiyana! You're amazing!
I cut Aiyana close, heedless of the slime that sticks to her. It doesn't really bother me. I know I'm just as dirty as she is, if not more.
You really saved the day! You defeated all those icky, nasty slimes in only a few seconds! I never knew you were so incredible! Well, I mean...
I hasten to correct myself, smiling guiltily.
I always knew you were incredible! That goes without saying! You're my best friend for a reason! You're even more incredible than I even imagined for! You look really cool back then!
Do you really think so?
Yeah, not even Maia can compare to you! And she's supposed to be a super powerful witch!
Oi! I am a powerful witch, thank you very much.
Maia hums in the background, her arms folded.
If I wanted, I could have utilized many powerful spells to drive the slimes away. I let that only because I feared I would cause the village further harm. When no one is as powerful as I, one cannot afford to be careless. I was being cautious for once in my life. It is only because Aiyana knew so little of magic she was able to throw caution to the wind.
Here, Maia pauses. She must have tired of her lecture, because she smiles.
But I'm glad she did regardless. Yeah, he's right. Your desire did save the day. Thank you, Aiyana.
You're like incredible! I've never seen anything like it before! Me neither. I shot at a number of slimes, but they kept coming back. You were able to take them out so easily. It my effort seemed like child's play. Everyone.
Aiyana looks at our smiling faces, her body still pressed to mine. Her rumpled white hair is beginning to come loose from its pigtails, and her body is streaked with dirt and slime. She looks exhausted, but a smile finds its way to her lips regardless.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I was just trying to do my best to help everybody. So I'm glad things worked out. I really couldn't have done this without you. I'm not a brave person or a strong person, but with your help, I think I will be able to improve myself.
If you improve yourself too much, you'll leave the rest of us in the dust.
I smiled companionably, then ruffled the Aiyana's head with one hand.
How do you feel after all of that? Are you tired?
A little. But it's not so bad as it was when I used my magic with that wench. I think my body must be getting used to my own mana.
That's great! I'm glad I was getting a little worried, huh?
You always worry about me.
Sorry, I can't help it. That's my job. It's 'cause we're friends.
You're more than friends, I'm sorry.
I guess I'll try to have a little more faith now, for you're so powerful. You could probably disintegrate me with a click of your fingers.
I would never do anything that horrible. You're my dearest friend and I love you.
I know. I was only teasing. Huh?
I giggle and give Aiyana an affectionate squeeze that makes her squeak cutely.
Huh?
Once I've had my fill of cuddling up to her, I step back and examine the village anew.
This is kind of a mess, huh?
Yes, indeed. Even if I use my magic, it would take a while to clean everything up.
At least nobody looks to be seriously injured. That's a good thing, right? Dents can always be re-erected, and walls can always be patched up. But you can't say the same for people. They are irreplaceable.
That's a good point, Volvo.
Maia flicks me in the forehead.
I very much doubt you'll be helping with the repairs. You have a peculiar habit of disappearing whenever hard work needs to be done.
What can I say? I'm a woman of mystery.
Yeah, very mysterious.
Maia rolls her eyes.
It really is a wonder how one woman can be so very lazy. I know how you put up with her, Koko.
Sometimes I wonder that myself. How mean! Don't you love me anymore, Koko? I love you a lot, despite myself. Maia's rightful. You should try to exert yourself every once in a while. Maybe you should follow Aiyana's example. She's been working really hard. Oh, no. I'm not that amazing. I didn't really do what I was doing. I don't deserve the praise. No. You're being too earnest. You did great. If it weren't for you, that wench might have raised the village to the ground. She was acting completely unhinged.
And speaking of Imala.
How could I let this happen? And many femoral things, but never did I wish for this to occur.
Imala is slumped on a bottle skirt, her fingers curled against the soil. Her head is bowed, her grey eyes misty. She looks utterly defeated.
I thought I could control the slimes. They were supposed to be obeying me, but there were too many of them. They refused to listen to me.
What?
Arie approaches Imala with some hesitation, her hands clasped at the front. It is with wide, surprised eyes that she kneels in front of Imala, her auburn curls shifting in the breeze.
What do you mean, Imala? You did not summon those weak monsters here, did you? You couldn't have done. You are my chief priestess. You're supposed to protect me and my people. I trusted you. Oh, I know you did, Your Highness. I'm so sorry, but...
Imala raises her head, her eyes meet Arie's. They are shining with tears, which are even more numerous than the stars scattered overhead in the dark sky.
I betrayed the trust of yours. It is as I said, Your Highness. I'm the only one who is controlling those slimes. I summoned them forth and they answered to my commands. They were supposed to at least. But in my ire, I let them get the better of me. They stopped listening to my orders to devastating results. This village, your beloved village. My selfishness has brought ruin upon it.
Round crystalline tears dislodge themselves from Imala's eyes. They drip down her flushed cheeks, then spatter the grass, like raindrops. Imala's fingers curl into fists, her whole body trembles.
I'm so sorry, Your Highness. Words cannot express how awful I feel. Find the one who instigated this madness. I never did think it would be devolved into this. I only meant to look after you. What?
Arie's brow furrows.
I do not follow. Please speak plain to me, Imala, so I might fully grasp what it is you did and why. I not wish to turn against, but I must understand your motives. Yes, your highness, of course, of course.
Imala bows her head, coat beneath Arie's piercing gaze. For Imala is older than Arie, she looks at this moment like a naughty girl, being castigated by her mother for some wrongdoing or another.
I summoned the slimes to this village. No, it is more serious than that. I summoned the slimes to many villages. I've been doing it for years. What? But why? At first I did it for your sake. I know it may be true, might be hard to grasp, but it is true, I swear it. I know it's not to lie to you further, Her Highness, believe me. I knew that you were alone, Your Highness. None was more aware than this. Of this than I, given how close we have always been. You deserve to make friends, but none in the village would approach you. They revered you as a monarch, but could not speak to you as a ghost knight. That is why I taught myself to summon slimes. I thought I might set them up on the others, and in doing so cause chaos. The monsters would drive families apart, people would be scattered. There was a chance refugees might come to our village to seek shelter.
Honestly, still fucking shitty way to do that. Unforgivable. Still.
Then you might be able to make some friends. That was my motive. For I did weak things, my intentions were pure.
Pure garbage.
I meant to make you happy. But my intentions might not matter much, given the results are well.
Well, yeah, countless villages destroyed, probably also countless lives in general destroyed, yeah. Imala raises her head, then looks about the village. She basically is a freaking politician. Except the politicians just constantly lie, saying that it's good for the good of the people, which is not ever. Well, at least I can say that about Poland, of course. Every single one of them is a damn liar. Anyway, Imala raises her head, then looks about the village. Tents are sagging, and some have holes in their canopied roofs. The tall grass is spattered with slime, and all around us families are crying, cringing, sighing.
I have committed great acts of villainy, and deserve no sympathy. I ruined many villages and my lives.
Imala sniffles.
And I even ruined your village, Your Highness, for I know how important it is to you. I fear these girls.
Imala inclines her head towards me and my entourage. What's up?
Would come to tell you of my misdeeds. I have sought to silence them. I summoned slimes, but these girls bested them. I panicked and I summoned so many slimes, then so doing lost control of my powers. There were too many of them to command, taping and ignoring others, and sought to destroy the village. This tragedy occurred because of me. If you were to hate me now, Your Highness, I would understand. I deserve your ire. I have no right to ask for forgiveness when for many years I have engaged in underhanded acts. I am no longer worth being your priestess. I am no longer worth being in your presence or leaving this village. To return, I should leave this place and never return.
And Arie should be like,
I think that's not enough. I should seek out some dark cave and hold myself up there alone for all eternity. That way I would never be able to harm anybody.
That's not necessarily true.
For it would break my heart if I were unable to see you again. Oh. I know I travel things around, but I love you.
Imala. Arie blinks, her blue eyes pregnant with motion. There's a pause, during which Arie seems to search for words. The silence is broken by the sound of Arie's villagers, all unnerved at Imala's sobbing. Imala's face is streaked liberally with tears. They glistened like stardust. Her pink hair looks messier than per usual, and her fingertips are stained with dirt from the scrabbling at the ground. She looks utterly woebegone. I think her apology is genuine. And so it seems does Arie.
Ah, Imala.
Arie leans in and, with a small smile, makes to brush a few of the tears away from beneath Imala's eyes.
What you did was wicked, that is true enough, but I believe you when you say that you did all for my sake. You caused much suffering, but it is through your machinations I met Koko, Yaya and Aiyana.
Still, I mean, she kinda destroyed our village, so, we are kinda holding a grudge here, you know.
They all are dear friends to me, and I would be happier had I not met them. When I consider that I cannot bring myself to despise you.
I will still.
Your Highness!
Imala sniffles, fresh tears still trickling down her cheeks.
Do you forgive me? It is not my place to forgive you. I am not the one you wronged. You ought to seek forgiveness instead from those whose villages you destroyed. I will not say this, however. I do not hate you.
I do.
Given your actions, I can hardly let you remain my priestess. Of course.
Imala smiles bitterly.
Such as exhaled that delight will be best wasted on one as raged as I. But I not wish to drum you from this village either. You will always have a home with me, Imala, by my side. Now dry your eyes.
Arie bears a few more stray tears from the cheeks of Imala's.
You look far lovelier when you smile. Are you my beloved Arie?
Imala hiccups, her damp cheeks still stained with silver tear tracks. Then, with a soft sigh, she throws herself into Arie's arms.
There, don't worry.
Arie holds Imala close, running her fingers through her pink tresses.
I've got you, and I'm not going to let go of you in a hurry. Somebody needs to keep a close eye on you, so you do not get yourself embroiled in further wickedness. I promise you that, Your Highness. I swear it upon my life. Let us hope that your promise holds true. It would aggrieve me greatly if you were to go back on your word after all.
Smiling, Arie presses a feather-light kiss upon Imala's forehead.
I too am very fond of you.
Or something like that. With the slime's dispatch of and peace, for the most part, restored, Arie summons us to her tent.
I guess we might as well continue. How do we look on the achievements front?
I think we are close to an end.
It looks like that, so
let's make it a long one, I guess. Right? Should we do it? Yeah. With this slime dispatch of and peace, for the most part restored, Arie summons us to her tent, which I read already, but whatever. There she serves us, reclining upon a pile of midnight blue cushions. Her expression is unusually serious, and the crown, which sits heavy upon her auburn curls, lends her a good deal of gravitas. I almost feel like I should bow before her, as I did during our first meeting.
God me, face is quite a difficult situation.
Arie heaves a heavy sigh.
I really must apologize for the commotion my village has wrought. I had no idea it was Imala who was behind these slime attacks.
Plot twist. She knew all about that.
If only I had been more perceptive, then I would have ordered Imala to put a halt to her ill-founded scheming. I wish I could have been of more use. But alas, I was utterly blind to her plans. I failed to see what was happening for my own eyes, and it cost people dearly. Villages were destroyed and families were torn asunder.
Arie winces.
How can I atone for that? It's alright, Arie. It wasn't your fault. You didn't order Imala to do this. She did it of her own volition. You've done nothing to feel guilty about. But I am Imala's superior. It is my job to keep an eye upon my own subjects and to discipline them accordingly. This was a gross erring on my part. I must take some portion of the blame. It was for my sake, after all, that Imala set the slimes upon people. Your village was destroyed in my name. I can't help but feel ashamed. I'm so sorry.
Arie bows her head deeply before us. Her auburn curls fall over her shoulders, and the diadem placed upon her head winks. Boop. This pose of supplication reminds me with a jolt who Arie really is. For all her jewels and trinkets, she's still a young girl, not so far apart from me in age. I can't even begin to imagine the weight of her responsibility, which rests upon her slender shoulders. It's a surprise she even ever gets any sleep at night, given all she has to worry about.
Arie!
My heart swells with sympathy for her. Like an overfull river, it threatens to burst in its banks.
It's alright. It really isn't your fault. I'm not mad at you.
You aren't?
Not at all.
But now you know the truth. You should, but alright, despite me. It's because of that? A fight that your village was ruined.
Indirectly, perhaps. But you didn't order it yourself. You had no idea what Imala was doing. You're innocent.
But so many homes were destroyed.
They were, yeah. But my people were silent. We rebuilt them.
And what of lives lost?
As far as I know, nobody died. The slimes were very strong. They were just overwhelming.
Some of us left the village, but we're alright. As you can see, I'm perfectly fine. There was no harm done, really. I don't know how you can say that when you were a victim of Imala's blood. Maybe I was, but I don't like to think of myself in terms. If it weren't for Imala, I never would have left my village. I wouldn't have become friends with you, Arie. And I wouldn't have met Mika. I'm not unhappy with the way things turned out. If anything, I should be thanking Imala. It's because of her interference that I met the woman I love.
Oh, yeah!
I mean, on the other hand, you don't know. We know Mika is a merchant. She travels. So basically what I'm saying, it wouldn't be surprising if she ventured into our village too. Mika winds around through Koko's giggling. Now don't mind me, but I actually need to awake myself a little bit, so a little bit of sound of an energy drink being opened.
You know, just what you to say to make my heart flutter.
What is that?
Super dry.
Arie purses her lips together.
I did think you were awful close, so that's how it is. You left so you could stay with Mika. Not that I can blame you. My village is a small one. It is not very interesting, not when there's a big world out there waiting to be explored. Often.
Yeah, that's what you should have been doing too. And not being closed like that, right?
Often I have wished I could travel too. But I must stop daydreaming. I'm not a child. It is because of my inattentiveness that this happened.
Arie clears her throat, then sits up a bit straighter. I do the same.
You may forgive me for my carelessness, but I cannot. I mean to become a good ruler, and to do that, I must keep my own subjects in line. I'll take this as an opportunity to learn from my mistakes. I shall not repeat it. I'll strive to usher in a new era of peace, where nobody gets hurt and nobody is separated from their friends. That is my dream.
Arie looks and sounds so determined. She seems to radiate celestial light. Her blue eyes are narrowed with determination, her fingers curled up on her lap. She looks every inch a princess from tip to toe.
Wow!
I exhale overawed.
You're so cool! Or maybe I should start calling you Your Highness!
No!
Arie's cheeks turn pink.
Arie's fine. You're not one of my subjects, so you don't need to bow and scrape before me. I'd like to think that we can still be friends, for I know I caused you much hardship. That isn't presumption of me, is it? Do you still want to be my friend, Yaya?
About that, you know, are we friends? I thought I was your subject. Yeah.
What? Don't you want to be my friend?
I don't know. I'm sure if I'm worthy of being that close to a princess. But if that's what you want, I guess I don't mind. We can be friends. I don't want you to be lonely, Arie. Same here. I'm glad to see you're right. I missed you. You did. Of course. Of course. We're together for more than 2 years. That's nothing to sneeze at. I've been hoping to see you again, so I could apologize for leaving you so suddenly. You were good to me when I arrived in this village, and I failed to repay you. I treated you poorly. If anything, I should be the one begging for your forgiveness. I'm sorry, Arie, if I hurt you. It wasn't my intention. Oh, Koko!
Arie sniffles.
Perhaps I was a bit hurt by your sudden absence. Or, a lot. But that is in the past now. As a princess, I cannot afford to hold petty grudges. You may have left me, but you still came back. I can tell you must have been worried about me, and it really is appreciated. I'm so glad you've all found it in your hearts to forgive me. It's more than I deserve. Sorry, but you're wrong about that. Huh?
Arie blinks.
What do you mean? I never forgive you, Arie, because you've done nothing that needs forgiving. You're not a bad person at all. No friend of mine could be wicked.
I concur. I think you're a good person. Harry. It seems inappropriate to address you so curtly, but if you wish to be friends, then I will try to dispense with such pleasantries. I too would like to befriend you.
And me! You're so cute, it'd be a crying shame if I couldn't call you a bosom buddy. You girls.
Arie looks between us, her eyes damp with tears. She inhales sharply, a few tears trickling down her flushed cheeks. Then she proclaims with one hand resting upon her heart.
Thank you very much for your kind words. You're truly wonderful friends, and I promise I shall never forget your kindness.
Nice. With the slimes defeated, the next task to attend is the repairing of Arie's village. It was dealt quite a series of blows during the onslaught of Imala slimes, and many of the tents are left in tatters. The village walls have taken quite the battering, and whole sections have been destroyed. The fields, meanwhile, need retiling. A lot of old crops were torn up by the slimes and they need to be planted anew. There's a lot of work to do, but Arie's villagers rise to the task. They don't waste any time complaining. Their fortitude is impressive. Watching them makes me feel invigorated. I want to help out too, and so I do. Maia and Aiyana, Koko and Mika and I remain in Arie's village for several days. The five of us help where we can, mending tents, fetching wood from the forest to repair the walls. Well, I say the five of us help, but that's not quite true. I help with the manual labor, and so does Koko. Aiyana isn't cut out for physical exertion, but she busies herself tending to the wounds of the Arie's guards, who were injured during the skirmish. Maia pitches in, brewing potions and tonics that can release pain and soothe fevered foreheads. As for Mika, however... well, the less said about her, the better. She is more intrigued in trying to barter wares with the villagers than actually aiding them. Hey, she's a merchant. What can you do? Personally, I can't even blame her. That woman is such an opportunist. The only thing she seems to care about is lining her pockets. Whenever she's obliged to work, she mysteriously vanishes. I have to wonder what Koko sees in her. But she's great. But I suppose Mika isn't all bad. She might be lazy, almost criminally so, but it's clear as day that she cares about Koko. You call her lazy, but if it gets to actually her merchanty work, she's good at this. She's efficient as hell. Koko is steadfast and level, whilst Mika is flighty and carefree. They balance each other out. I wonder if that's why they make such a good couple. I ponder such matters as work. I'm out in the forest, cutting up wood to fix the breached village walls. I grip an axe tight in my hand, the silver blade blunted from the work. My brow is damp with sweat and a few stray, salty droplets trickle down my forehead. It's a day hot enough to be unforgiving. Not even the leaves overhead can shield me from the worst of the sun's rays. The crown of my head and the nape of my neck feel like they're melting. Chopping firewood is tedious work under any circumstances, but it's even more grueling now. I wouldn't call this fun, but it is necessary. I want to help Arie and her villagers as much as possible. I'm trying to be optimistic, but...
Jeez!
I pout.
I feel like I've been chopping wood for hours. My muscles are screaming something fierce and I've still got a bunch of work to do. Then when all this is done, I've got to haul it back to the village. There is no rest for the wicked. At least I'm getting good workout.
It's important to look on the bright side. That shouldn't be too much of an ask today, given how sunny it is.
I've gotta keep going.
I retrieve another hunk of wood from the forest floor, then place it on the tree stump I've been using as a makeshift bench. I grip my handy axe tight, fingers curled about it, and arc it back. The blade of the axe splits the air, then embeds itself in the chunk of wood. The wood splits down the middle into a more manageable size. It still looks a bit big though. I should probably cut these pieces down too. I pass it to the wood, then poise the axe over them. I'm about to swing it again when...
Excuse me, Yaya. I hate to interrupt you while you are so busy, but I was wondering if I may speak to you. Oh.
I set the axe down, then glance about. It doesn't take me long to find the person who addressed me. A pink-haired woman is standing a few feet away from me, beneath the shade of one of the large trees. Her hands are linked together at her front, and she's looking at me with anxious grey eyes. It's Imala. My body stiffens the moment I set my sights on her. Our paths haven't crossed since the night I returned to the village. When I last saw her, she was crying to Arie's arms and begging forgiveness. Had she learned her lesson since then? I'm not sure. What if she's going to summon slimes right now? I think she was being sincere, but there is a chance her tears were feigned to elicit Arie's sympathy. If I were in Arie's shoes, I'd have locked Imala up. It seems like something of an oversight to let her roam around, given all the mischief she's caused.
What are you doing here?
I survey Imala coolly, my eyes narrowed.
You've not come to cause more problems, have you? No, I have not. Far be it, in fact. I know I've done little to court your trust. If anything, I deserve your wrath, but I have no desire to interfere. You're under no obligation to believe me, but I do feel bad about what I did. Really? Yes, really. You must understand that at the time, I thought my actions were perfectly justified. I commanded my slimes to attack villagers, but I ensured they did not injure anybody. I only had them damage buildings and crops. I knew I was causing harm, but I did not think it's so very serious. And even if I had been able to admit as much, I excused myself with claims. I was acting for Arie's sake. I thought it was my duty, as her chief priestess, to alleviate my princess's loneliness. But now I realize I went about it in quite the wrong way. I did a good many awful things, but I was too blinded to see it. I was a fool. I'm not sure if fool is the word I'd use myself.
I think sociopath would be a vastly more accurate descriptor.
But I guess it's better late than never. I'm glad to realize the error of your ways. I didn't just think that Arie to exonerate me yourself, right? Of course not. It was easy for me to ignore the destruction my slimes wrought, for they did not attack villages so very close to my own. I did not see the carnage they created with my own eyes. After having seen them attack my own village, however, I have now come to understand the grave error I made. I do not wish to hurt my princess any longer, nor any of her people, nor you, Yaya.
Imala bows her head before me, her eyelashes matted together.
I apologize for all I have done, and now lay myself at your feet to await your judgment. I know I have caused you much grief, and I know this is a big ask, but I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
I was prepared to turn my nose up at Imala in her attempts at reconciliation, but her words are so they strike a chord within me. I actually have an axe in my hand as well. I really do think she's telling the truth. She lost sight of herself and her goals for many years, but I think she has finally returned to her senses. The destruction she wrought upon her village with her own 2 hands must have given her the proverbial slap around the face and need to return her to reality. I can't hate her when she looks this whoop gone. Instead, I pity her. My village was destroyed by her, it's true, for indirectly. But looking back upon my adventures, it was not bad. If my village had not been sacked with slimes, Koko never would have disappeared. Aiyana and I would not have needed to embark upon this journey, and we would not have experienced so many wonderful things. And we would have met Maia, or Arie, or Mika. And I would have watched the stars alongside the witch, or kissed a princess, get kissed by a princess, or escape from a prison cell with an enchanted necklace given to me by a fast-talking merchant. So many things happened, it's enough to make my head spin. I always want to go on an adventure, ever since I was a little girl. And thanks to Imala, it really did happen. There were bad times, yes, and scary times, but I had a lot of fun too. When the dust settles, I think I'll come away from this with stories to tell, rather than scars. And that is very special indeed.
It's alright,
I say after a long pause, broken only to be by the breeze.
you did a lot of bad, you yourself have admitted that, but you can still turn things around. You can't take back the destruction you wrought, but you never took any lives. You haven't gone so very far you can be forgiven. Do you accept my apology then? Can you still look me in the eye after all I did? I didn't think I'd be able to. I figured I'd hated you, and maybe part of me still does. But, well, you put me through a lot, but I'm not good at holding grudges.
I am. But yeah, we'll forgive her. Fine, let's forgive her. It was for Arie. It was all for Arie. Right, sure, she destroyed villages, she destroyed the crops and so on. At least she didn't kill anyone. I hope everyone else's lives actually go well as well. Right? We know that the Yaya's village was rebuilt, right? So that's good. Some people went out somewhere far away, like Koko. But Koko found her way, so hopefully others did as well. Anyway, hopefully with other villages it was the same.
That and well,
I grin.
if I'm being totally honest, my life was pretty dull before this slimes came. I was living in this teeny tiny village with my name Koko, ignorant of the outside world. If it weren't for your slimes, I don't think I ever would have gone on an adventure. In that sense, I owe you one. I had a lot of fun. Eh? Yeah.
Imala sniffles, tears begin to bed upon her pink eyelashes, as they did a few nights prior when the slimes laid waste to her own village. Imala wipes her grey eyes with the back of her arm, but that is enough to stem her tears. More of them come, trickling slowly down her cheeks like raindrops. Plot twist. Imala, a good ending. You are now dating the priestess of the princess that confessed to you. That would be crazy.
You really are too kind. Heart don't deserve your forgiveness. Would you prefer it if I hurled a bad abuse at you then?
Oh, of course not. That would only make me feel worse. I was hoping you would be able to forgive me, but I did not truly believe it would happen.
I mean, if you used your clairvoyance, you wouldn't know.
One would have to be a goddess to accept my feeble apology. That is what I thought at least, but you have betrayed my expectations. You've been kinder to me than I truly deserve. I cannot thank you enough for that. You really are a good person. I shall follow your example and strive to better myself. I will not summon my slimes, not anymore.
I mean, they would do well as defensive mechanisms. Just don't summon too many of them. Our village is getting attacked by some other village. Drop the slimes on them. I mean, we know she can control a few of them, right? It's the fact that she summoned way too many that messed everything up. So, you know, summon one, be sure to control it, you know. Certainly. Summon two, are you sure you can control it? Alright. Summon three, and so on, right? I'm not saying summon thousands like last time. That was overkill. Anyway.
I wish instead to make others happy. That can be my new reason for living.
Wait, that was kind of your list. I mean, that was kind of your reason for living, to make Arie happy, but it just completely went the weird path.
Now!
Imala wipes the last of her tears from her pink-rimmed eyes, then smiles.
Won't you let me aid you in this tedious chopping of wood? I'm not cut out for this physical labor, but I feel obliged to lend a hand. It is the least I can do to help. My village will not repair itself.
I mean, you could probably do this with magic, right? It takes several weeks' worth of hard work, but eventually Arie's village is patched up to more or less its original state. The tents are newly erected, the fields retiled, and the wooden wall which runs about its perimeter has been fixed. I guess we are not mentioning the fact that also Imala was the reason why, you know, the water was dried up. They didn't have any food around, etc, right? Let's not mention that as well. Just the slimes, yeah. The village looks almost as good as new. It's as though nothing untoward ever happened. I'm pretty happy with my hard work, for I know I can take all the credit for this miraculous transformation. Imala participated in a lot of the grunt work, despite her dislike of physical exertion. She was more fevered in her restoration attempts than anybody else, spurred on, perhaps, by the guilt of having brought all this destruction in the first place. Arie throws a party to celebrate the successful termination of our restoration efforts. There's drinking and dancing as there was during the previous party, and unlike the last time, nobody gets abducted. The sun rises the following morning, and I arrive alongside it. I feel a bit groggy after last night's festivities, but I'm able to shake the worst of it off with a dip in the nearby river. I dress, secure my hair into my plain and practical ponytail, then return to the tent Arie prepared for us. Hey, don't call a ponytail plain. Come on, it's practical. I actually like ponytails. God damn it. Side tails are super cool as well. By this point, everybody else has awoken. They are clad not in their undergarments, but in their everyday garments. Maia's holding one hand to her head, perhaps to fend off a hangover. She drank a lot last night, but everybody else looks fresh and alert. Well, as fresh as they can be, after about 5 hours of sleep. Hey. I slept 3 today, maybe 2 even. I actually went to bed like 4 AM. Which is crazy. I actually got woken up at 5:40, something like this as well. By some important messages. Important to me, of course. So I would talk for a bit. Was it 4:40? Yeah, so for 5:50, well, not much difference. I think I fell asleep at 6:30 again, and then I was up at 8 again. Not much sleep, but we are going strong. I think I will sneeze in a second as well. Sorry about that in advance. For now that I said it, it probably won't happen. Well, as fresh as they can be after 5 hours of sleep, yeah. Once we've eaten breakfast, Mika clears her throat, then launches into a little speech. I can tell based on the way she's talking that she's been plotting this out in her head for a while.
Well, it was lovely spending time with you girls, really. It was, but I think that's enough excitement for me. I'm used to traveling for my job. When I'm not selling my wares, I'd really rather relax. I've traipsed all about the forest and my feet are reaching something awful. Right now I just want to go home and rest my weary legs.
I imagine you're looking forward to resting your head too on Koko's wondrous bosom.
Yes, indeed. How did you guess?
You're not particularly hard to read.
Yeah, it is. I'm very glad I was able to meet you again, Yaya and Aiyana. It was very nice meeting you, Maia. I am humbled that the three of you had devoted so much time to finding me. Really, I am. I'm but a simple girl. Simply adorable. And I do not think I'm worthy of such concern. I apologize for making you all worry. Aiyana and Yaya.
Koko looks at us, one hand pressed against her chest.
You're still my dear friends. I've known you since we were children, and we always used to play together. You brought no shortage of happiness into my life. I won't forget the fond memories we made, but...
Koko sniffs, her voice catches in her throat. It looks like she's having a hard time articulating words, but she makes a valiant effort regardless. She is doing her best.
You'll never not be important to me, but... You can do this, Koko. Just tell your friends what you want. They won't judge you for it, not when they endured so much to find you again. Your feelings matter. Thank you. I'm sure you're right. This is a difficult decision to make, but...
Koko inhales, her fingers curling to fists up her lap. Then she bows her head and says with eyes squeezed shut.
I can't go back to our old village with you. I know that's what you were hoping, but it isn't possible. I've fallen in love with Mika, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her.
Silence descends for a few moments. I look at Koko, who's trembling, then to Aiyana. The pair of us smile. Then we both reach out in unison and rest our hands upon Koko's shoulders.
Well, I figured things would work out this way. You already said as much back when I gave you that piggyback ride. I could tell you wanted to stay with Mika. It was obvious to look at the pair of you. It's clear you make one another happy. I could never begrudge you for that. If you want to stay with the woman you love, you should. Huh? Is that really alright? Of course it is! We're both happy for you, aren't we, Aiyana? That's right, we are very happy. But you guys spent months looking for me. You endured so much for my sake, and now I'm going to leave you again. We might not see one another after this. I'm throwing your hard work back in your faces. No, you're not. That's not true. You never asked us to come and look for you. We decided that on our own. If anything, we're the ones being selfish. We didn't consider that you might have formed a new life, but we're glad you did. I'd rather you be happy with Mika than miserable on your own. Aiyana and I were hoping you'd come back with us, yeah. But we'd never force you to do anything not against your will. That'd make us just as bad as Imala. We're your friends, so we want to support you. You don't need to feel guilty. We'd far rather you be happy. You do.
Koko looks between us, her green eyes bedding with tears. She sniffs, perhaps overwhelmed by emotion. Then...
I'll miss you too. I'll miss both of you so much.
Koko pulls the pair of us into the embrace. It's a warm embrace, much like those from our childhood. We used to cling to one another like this all the time, our faces wrapped in smiles. This is goodbye for real. I have to make it count. It's sad enough to make my heart ache. But it makes me smile too. To know that I'm leaving Koko in good hands. She and Mika will be happy together. Of that, I am positive. Finally, after 3 long years, it feels like this chapter of my life has come to a close. It's bittersweet, but... But the sweetness outweighs the bitterness. My heart has never felt lighter. With Arie's village repaired, I and I decide to return home. It's been months since we set off from our village and I've grown to miss it. I used to think my village was small and stifling, but it is the place I was born. It was in that village that Aiyana, Koko and I used to play. During the day we would paddle in the streams and walk through the forests, and at night we would sit together telling scary stories. I'm not a child any longer, but I still cherish the peaceable days of my youth. It feels like they passed in the blink of an eye. Maia decides after some hemming and hawing that she will not be heading to our village with us. Instead she chooses to return to her home up on the cliffs.
That's sad. I had fun traveling with you girls, but I'm a witch. I don't belong in villages or towns. I'm better served alone, where I can brew my potions in peace. Moreover,
Maia grins at me coyly.
I know you, Aiyana, and Aiyana have grown rather close during our journey. I don't doubt you wish to spend some time alone with her. Very free is a crowd, or so they say. But it is a pity. I would so love to watch you indulge in your passions. I'm sure you would both make for quite a pretty picture with your flushed faces and entangled limbs. I have no idea what you're talking about. Of course you don't, dear.
Maia's teasing laughter dogs me as I walk through the woods with Aiyana. It's a pleasantly warm day and the grass stirs around my feet, birds chirp in the trees and the sky is bright blue. The wind runs through my hair. which makes it flatter. My ponytail swishes with every step, as does the hem of my dress. I should be relaxing, the worst of my trials are over, and now my journey has come to an end. Everything concluded happily, but...
How dare Maia make fun of us like that?
I grit my teeth together and lash out at the tree stump. I give it a good kick to alleviate my irritation, not that it works. No, my foot is smarting, and I feel pissed.
Ow!
I whimper, then stagger back. My clumsy soles compress the grass underfoot, and I can hear rustling among the bushes. I think my grousing must have scared away a few rabbits.
Are you alright, Yaya? Did Maia upset you?
She always upsets me, that conniving witch. She's so shameless. What does she know about our relationship? It has nothing to do with her. She needs to butt out of our private life.
No.
Anna smiles at me consolingly.
I don't think she meant any ill by it. She was just trying to be supportive in her own way. Really, we should thank her. She was being very considerate.
Puh! Yeah, right. I doubt the word considerate appears in that woman's vocabulary. She wouldn't know what consideration was, even if it slapped her across the face. The only person she cares about is herself.
Perhaps that comes with being a witch. They are very powerful beings after all. And Maia has lived for many, many years. To her, the antics of us lesser humans must seem very amusing. But still, she agreed to help us. We would not have been able to locate Koko were it not for her, and I never would have learned how to control my own powers. We owe her a lot.
I guess.
I relent after a pause.
I still like her though. I trust my gut instincts. That woman unnerved me from the get-go. I can't stand her snotty way of talking. I'm sure she was looking down on me. Oh no, on us!
I pause, then I take Aiyana's hands in mine. I think I might be gripping Aiyana a bit too tightly, but she doesn't try to pull away. She doesn't even wince. Aiyana is familiar enough with my quick temper not to get perturbed. She knows me better than anybody, even Koko. Aiyana and I have been together since we were children. She knows all the unfortunate aspects of my character, but she forgives them. I think that's why I like her so much.
I don't mind being teased all that much, but I don't want that witch tracking you things too. That isn't fair. I won't let her look down on you, not over my dead body.
I don't think she was looking down on either of us. Maia was just being... well...
Aiyana smiles vaguely.
Maia. She does not often interact with humans, so she's never learned to be sincere. Teasing is her way, but I think she means well. Do not judge her too harshly.
Maybe you're right, but I can't help it. The salacious way that witch looks at you drives me crazy. It's not fair. You're my girlfriend and mine alone. Should keep her distance, even if she's teasing. I want you all to myself.
Yeah.
Aiyana blinks, her face flushed.
But do you really care about me that much?
That's right, I do. I love you, Aiyana. I've loved you for a long time. But what happened up in the Varys village really clinched it. You were so cool back then. When you defeated all those slimes, I couldn't take my eyes off of you. You look like some kind of goddess.
I'm no goddess. I'm quite plain, and ordinary, really.
No, you're not. That couldn't be further from the truth. I think you're wonderful.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Aiyana giggles shyly.
It was nerve-wracking using such a powerful spell, but I think it was worthwhile in the end. I'm glad I was able to help everyone. And I'm especially glad that you found me cool.
You're the coolest.
I dip my head, then press a quick kiss against Aiyana's cheek. Her face is warm, I can feel it. All my lips ask for I'm kissing the sunlight itself.
Say, Aiyana.
I draw back from my girlfriend, my fingers linked at my front.
I know we're heading back to our village, but do you think we'll go on more adventures in the future?
I'm sure we will. I used to be shy, awkward girl, but when I'm with you, I feel like I'll go anywhere. Do anything.
Same here.
And I lapse into comfortable silence. We walk through the sunlit forest together, Maia forgotten. I can smell earth and moss when I inhale. It lingers in my nostrils, rich and verdant. And that's when we run into a merchant. I wouldn't be surprised if we run into merchant right now. Into a merchant that we know. Anyway, it's a lovely day. It's made lovelier still with Aiyana by my side. A few minutes pass like this unmolested. What? But soon the faint sound of running water catches my attention. I pause, my ears break back like that of a small animal and glance around.
Do you hear that, Aiyana?
Oh yeah. It sounds like a stream is close by, or perhaps a river.
Maybe we should check it out. I'm starting to feel a bit worn down. We've been walking for a few hours already. Do you want to take a dip?
I would not be opposed to the idea. The cool water might feel good against my skin.
Let's take a quick detour then.
I grin.
Yeah, I could never turn down a chance to see you dripping wet.
Oh my, now you are the one who sounds salacious. You might even be worse. You might be even worse than Maia.
I wrinkle my nose.
No way.
Yes way.
I'm nothing like that silly witch.
You might have more in common than you think.
I don't believe it.
Start believing it.
Aiyana and I bicker playfully as we navigate the woods. I nudge her with my elbow, which prompts her to nudge me in turn. Our eyes meet. Then after a pause, we both begin to laugh. What is going on?
Wow, this is so cool. I never knew anything like this existed. Did you, Aiyana?
I can't say that I did, but certainly it's a surprise.
What is going on in here? Is it like a chocolate river or something? Aiyana and I are standing in a lake, if it can be called that, which swirls with water thicker and darker than in the norm. More of this curious water cascades upon us from above, from two distinctly different waterfalls. One stream of water is dark brown, while the other is milky white. This is chocolate, isn't it? Chocolate river! Let's go! The water mixes together when it reaches the hollow basin beneath it into quite the interesting, shall we say, color. It doesn't look particularly appealing, but the smell is incredible. A sweet, sugary aroma lingers in the air. It's so delectable I can feel myself salivating. This water... Oh yeah, we did not have the mention of saliva yet in this Sakura for us girls free. Interesting. This water is no ordinary water.
If this, instead, melted chocolate.
I've never seen a river that runs with melted chocolate before, and neither have I bathed in it. This is a new experience on so many accounts.
I wonder if this place is enchanted.
Aiyana glanced about our chocolately surroundings. Her lips pursed in thought.
The mana in there is rather dense. Perhaps a witch cast a spell upon this place as an act of whims. This could even have been Maia's work. It smells a bit like her.
It does.
I sniffed the air, my nostrils quivering like dogs.
I can't catch any trace of that witch here. It just smells like chocolate to me.
That is the pervading odor, yeah. But if you try to focus...
Oh, come on, Anna, you know me. I'm not good at focusing. Especially not when something this incredible is going on before my very own eyes. It's chocolate water!
I splash some of the sticky chocolate water at Aiyana, who squeals and staggers back. She tries to avoid me, but I'm too quick for her. I lope through the melted chocolate, sticky white fluid spattering my thighs, and weave my arms about Aiyana in tight embrace.
Let's not talk about Naya now. She isn't even here. Let's try and enjoy ourselves.
And how do you suppose we do that?
I'm not sure, really.
I smile abashed. What is one supposed to do in the lake full of melted chocolate anyway? I've never been in a situation like this before. I doubt many people have, which has left me feeling a bit stumped.
I guess we could splash about for a bit. That sounds like fun.
But we'll get dirty.
I think it's a bit too late to worry about that.
I look down myself at Aiyana.
She, like me, is coated liberally in melted chocolate, from toe to tip. From toe to tip. Isn't it from tip of our toes? Isn't that the saying? Anyway, It pulls beneath her cleavage and trickles slowly down her thighs. If it smells this amazing, I bet it tastes even better. Now that's an idea.
Why don't we play for a bit? Then when we retire it, I can rest you on the riverbank and I can lick all the chocolate from your naked body. Ha ha! I think it'll be a good bonding exercise. Yeah.
Aiyana stares at me, shamefaced. Her eyes are completely white and her face is flushed.
That's so lewd. And?
I grin.
Hehe, we're a couple, aren't we? That shouldn't be an issue if we're a little lewd from time to time. Wink, wink. In fact, I'd say it's pretty normal.
Maybe so, but what if somebody were to see us?
They won't. We're the only people here. It should be fine. Unless...
I squeeze Aiyana, my arms slip beneath her cleavage, and bring my face to within a few inches of her own.
Are you saying you don't want me to lick the melted chocolate off of you?
I think that sounds very messy, but
Aiyana smiles, her cheeks pale pink.
It might be fun. This chocolate river really is incredible. It would seem a waste not to indulge ourselves in it. Now we have found it. I imagine few people have seen such a thing in all their lives.
Exactly! This is special, so we've got to make the most of it. The world is full of mysteries, but they're just waiting to be discovered, and I want to unearth them all. Let's not stay in our village for too long, alright? We can rest till the but I'd rather explore the world that has an offer. When we were together, I feel I can do absolutely anything. Only the sky's the limit.
Oh, Yaya.
Aiyana blinks, a blush settles upon her cheeks, soft and gentle. A few moments pass, broken by the bubbling of the thick chocolatey water as it ripples about our calves. Aiyana's white hair, which is spotted here and there with brown chocolate, flutters about her heart-shaped face. Then she smiles.
I would be more than happy to explore with you. Let us go into the world and see what it has to offer.
Her fingers find mine. Our hands linked, she looks into my eyes and says,
Together.
Together. Together.
Nice.
Alright, good ending. That's a good ending. Possibly the best ending as well. Oh boy, what a long episode it was. I probably could make it shorter, but at the same time, did I want to? Not really. The moment I saw that we are close, I think close at the achievements to the end, then I had to go with it. By the way, apparently only 61% of people got the ending with Aiyana, which is ridiculous. Why would you not get the rest of them? What the heck? What the heck? Alright, that was Sakura Forest Girls 3. We'll of course go after the other endings as well, but not in this episode, so expect more to come. I believe I'll be able to prepare one for tomorrow, but I don't know if during the weekend you will get any Sakura Forest Girls 3. You will definitely get, what was it that we are playing also aside from Zoo Corporation game? Thanks Windows for opening the thing 3 times. Pretty Girls Escape. Pretty Girls Escape, so we'll be getting that in the weekend definitely. I will probably also give you in the weekend some Genshin, and hopefully Friday and Saturday we will stream as well some Genshin. If I don't know, maybe I'll do a little change. Maybe we'll stream Genshin only on one of those days. And maybe I'll be streaming something different during the other day. It would be not a bad idea as well. Especially since I know what I would like to do. We will see. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed. I think this was a pretty good ending. I mean, I wanted Aiyana's ending still. I feel like of all the characters, she's the one for Yaya. Even for, again, not gonna lie, Yaya was my favorite character overall. I know she kinda acts dumb and so on, but she also had good moments. She has the good reading of feelings of people. That's pretty cool. And I guess she's kinda, I guess like me, she would charge into the things without thinking. Unfortunately, that's how I would be as well, I believe. Anywho. Oh. Okay, so there's one more ending, I believe, that is less common. I doubt we missed anything throughout the story. It's probably only endings that we missed. Anyway, that was pretty interesting. I still feel that Imala's doings were absolutely bad, very bad. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad she was able to realize all of that after all of that, and that, you know, I believe she's no longer a priestess for Arie's village, but maybe she's still doing something in that village, right? Possibly, hopefully, stuff like that. I mean, she might be an advisor or whatever. I feel like she should be going after Arie in general as a partner, basically. I don't understand why she would not do that at all. But whatever. Actually, how many CGs are we lacking? 1, 2, 3. 3 CGs, so I guess 3 more endings. Wait, 3 more endings. But 4 more achievements. What? Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, we'll find out. Let's end it for today. If you guys liked it, consider liking. If you are not subscribed yet, consider subscribing as well. It would be a pleasure to have you on board. You can also leave a comment. What do you guys think of Imala's doings? Especially if you were since the very beginning of Sakura Forest Girls series. What do you think of what she's done? Would you be able to forgive her? Etc, etc. You can also go to my socials, so Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. As I mentioned, we are streaming on Twitch occasionally, Fridays, Saturdays. So you might find me over there live as well. At night of Central European time, so around midnight, sometimes later, sometimes earlier, but not much earlier. That's it. Have you? No, not have you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.